Welcome back to another episode of the What Everybody podcast. Episode 112 of the WBP is here, and we are going back to college. That's right. Harris's niece, Bells, is here to join us. She's going to talk to us about her musical taste. She's going to talk to us about what it's like to be in college. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So with no further ado, Ryan and Johnny. Technically challenged, dude. Welcome to episode 112. Is this a surprise to you? Is this a surprise to you?
Holy crap. No. This is why I have to be uptight. This is why I have to be uptight. When I try to be loosey-goosey with you and have a relaxed time, you're 45 minutes at this point, 50 minutes late.
How am I 50 minutes late when I showed up at the place we're supposed to be at an hour before we're supposed to be here?
That's a great question. How are you?
Hold on.
How are you?
Yo, remove the stick from your butthole. Let's start there.
No,
okay?
No. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. Because Johnny texts me, hey, I'm here, I'm set up, but I got a sandwich and I'd like to eat the sandwich before we do the podcast. And I'm like, cool, man, no problem. Do your thing. And I didn't realize it would take you 50 minutes to eat a sandwich.
No, I was charging my phone.
You're texting me videos.
I was making videos. Videos.
And then you say, hang on, I got to wait a little bit longer because my phone's at 29% and I don't have a charger. Holy crap, dude. Holy crap.
Well, everybody, some things never change here at the What Everybody podcast.
Dude.
I'm the relaxed one.
Unreal. I was all loosey-goosey. I was having a good day. I was fine.
God. Relax, God.
Our guest has been waiting for almost an hour for you.
Who's the old cranky Jewish guy here, me or you?
I'm not going to answer that either way.
That'd be great if like all these years I've known you, you never told me you were Jewish. And like you said you were going back for Christmas, but the reality is the first night of Hanukkah landed on
went back for Happy
Christmas
Hanukkah
Day, and you went back to light the menorah with your family.
And I have a Hanukkah bush instead of a Christmas tree.
Man, we've talked about this every year. Man, that Hanukkah bush is a big, like, I know it's like Bigfoot. Does it exist?
Happy Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy Merry Hanukkah. Happy Merry New Year. This is our holiday edition.
This is the holiday edition, but by the time people hear this, it's going to be 2025. That's kind of crazy.
Yes,
like the year's just gone like that. It's crazy. We're at episode 112. It's crazy that you and I still do this stuff.
Especially after how many countless hours I've had to just wait for you.
This is nonsense. This is bullshit. Although it
just
probably
wait. How many hours do you think I've just sat here and waited for you?
That's a good question. Wow, that felt very, very like you're the principal right there. Your dad was a teacher. Your dad was a teacher. Your mom was a teacher. Right. Your teacher, your parents' instincts just came out there because you were just like, you were. What do you want to do with your life?
Exactly.
I want to rock.
You're being Spicoli right now.
No, you're not Mr. Hand. That's from the Twisted Sister video, which is from Animal House. It's the
okay.
guy.
I got it. My bad, dude. I got my references mixed up. What are you going to do about it?
I'll give you Mr. Hand. So tell me, Mr. Spicoli, are you going to pass my class? Well, Mr. Hand, I don't know. I think I got that reversed.
Something like that.
Mr. Hand,
it's been a while since I watched it.
Mr. Hand, am I going to pass your class? Well, Mr. Spicoli, I don't know.
All I need is a cool wave, and some, or a wave and some. I messed it all up. Whatever, dude. My niece is going to be on the podcast today. We're keeping it in the family. Yeah,
that's kind of crazy. I met your niece. She was used to come out and see Warner Drive shows with your brother when she was like 7 or something
like that.
She's a real young little kid. Now she's a grown up. She's like in college. She runs like a TV show at her college.
And she does the news. She does the college news.
She does the college news. What else is on TV in college?
Yeah. Let me send her a link right now. Edit pause.
It is a good. I would love to figure out how much time you've spent waiting on me.
Dude. All right, I'm going back to loosey-goosey. It's cool. It's all good.
But
We're rolling.
Do you know what my counter argument would be?
Hours, Johnny. Hours.
But do you know what my kid? I don't know about that, bro. But do you know what my counter argument would be?
Sure, what?
It's always your schedule we work around.
That's not true at all. That is not true at all. That is
eliminate the touring aspect of mine.
Hey, you mind if I eat my sandwich real quick? You mind if I go take a piss real quick?
Where do you think I got my sandwich?
20 minutes later.
Where do you think I got my sandwich from?
Where'd you get it from?
Take one wild guess.
Is it Yum Yums?
Yes. It's
we haven't talked about Yum Yums in a minute.
They like me over there now.
They must have new employees.
No, as a matter of fact, it's funny you should say that because the chick who took my order today, I've seen her there for a few years now. Sure have.
Good for her.
Yeah. You know what? I got a critique on the sandwich though today. They might have used a little too much egg.
Too much egg?
It was like they like
fascinating topic.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's bring your niece on. I mean,
yeah, let's
talk about eggs. I don't want
to talk about eggs. I like that. And, we keep it in the family though, and I like that. You have your cousin Wee Wee on every now and again. We're gonna have
we got to
bring
him back. It's been a long time, and Wee Wee moved to Florida. Have we had him since he's moved to Florida?
No, we haven't. I think I know. Yeah. I think you know what we know what we have to do now.
We've got to get Wee Wee on next.
Here's Belle. I'm gonna bring Bells in here.
Bring Bells in. Isabella Harris. Wow. Does she go by Isabella? What does she go by? I'm gonna call you Isabella because Bells makes me think of you as like when you were a little girl. I met you when you were 7 or something.
Yeah.
Now
I was young.
Okay, like your voice is tripping me out. I gotta be honest. I hear
you want to call her. You want to call her grown up name?
Well, what do you like to be called? If I was to meet you in college, what would you be asked to be called?
I just say Bells.
Oh, you do say Bells, so people call you Bells. All right, so you're Bells. Okay.
Yeah.
Hell's Bells, man.
Yeah.
Hell's Bells, baby.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. We were saying before you got on here, we make this podcast a family affair because Johnny has his cousin Wee Wee on here all the time.
Well, we used to have him all the time. It's going to be sad. We haven't had him. But that's okay. We got Bells. This is crazy. Seriously, like your voice is tripping me out. Ryan tells me you do like college news casting at school or something along the lines.
Yeah, we have like a TV station at RMU, and I'm one of the anchors. So
that's amazing. You got the voice for that.
She's arguably more professional than her uncle. She's no doubt more professional than you.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean,
that's the goal.
She's actually learning things, and you and I are like, oh yeah, cool, bro, science, dude.
we're just winging it. Couple of dummies. She's like, well, I'm going to go have somebody professionally teach me what to do.
Well, this all goes back to being at the disadvantage of, this is a great, you know what? This is actually kind of interesting. I was going to say, we grew up in a time where we didn't have the internet. It wasn't like I was a kid and I had YouTube, and if I wanted to learn drums, I see like 6-year-old drummers who like learned on YouTube. Like, I'm just like, I should quit. So as somebody who grew up in that generation, what's that like? Have you ever not known the internet?
No, I got my first iPad when I was like 4 or 5.
That's insane,
so I just
man.
I grew up.
I still don't have an iPad.
Yeah.
You've already been passed, Johnny.
No, it's great because like everybody around me who's like older, I'm like a tech genius or whatever. Yeah. It's like the most simple thing ever.
Credit where due. You're pretty good with it. I find myself asking tech questions.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I know how to turn my computer on, go to places like YouTube.
Johnny goes, is it bad if I fall asleep with my computer and then I wake up and it fell onto the floor? I was like, well, you probably don't want to do that too many times.
Yeah, no.
We keep bringing up that she's a youngin', but compared to when I was her age, she's been to dozens more shows than I've been to. She's got good taste in music.
How old were you when you went to your first concert?
I think 4th grade.
4th grade is what is
like
4th grade?
9 or 10.
I was 10. That's cool. Got that in common.
Yeah.
Who was your first show?
It was Lee Brice. I listened to him on the radio and stuff. He's country. He's like more country pop. But my dad just surprised me with the tickets. Know who he is. Yeah.
Ryan, who was your first?
My first show was Kiss. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Actually, my first show, I saw Dolly Parton at the Canfield Fair.
You saw at the Canfield Fair?
Yeah, and I was like,
I feel duped by you, bro. This whole time you've been saying how my first show was Kiss. It changed
I don't
my
really.
life.
Here's the thing.
And
Here's
then,
the thing.
It's fucking Dolly Parton of all things.
Here's the thing. I don't really remember it though. I don't really remember it though. I was really young, and I don't really.
Who brought you?
I went with Grandma and Paps, Mom and Dad.
They went to Dolly Parton?
Well, this was back. So they don't really leave the house these days, but back whenever they were, back
well,
in the
like
day,
they rarely listen to music, like ever.
Yeah.
So
I still feel duped about your duped Kiss thing. That's fucked up.
I'm not. It's not. You weren't fooled by the Kiss thing.
That's the first. That's the first concert. I wouldn't have been bummed. I wouldn't have been bummed about that. But the fact that you didn't.
I'm not bummed either. I just don't. I don't remember it. I don't remember it.
Bells brings out the truth serum. I see.
Well, don't lie to your family, Johnny. You know. Back to the topic. Since then, your first concert was Lee Brice. Since then, you've seen countless more.
Oh yeah, a bunch.
What's your favorite one?
Kiss at the Hollywood Bowl. Nothing tops it. Although I did like the Stones in 2021. That was really good.
Yeah.
If probably goes Kiss then Stones. Yeah.
This
Kiss
gives me hope
surreal.
that rock and roll's coming back. How old are you, Bells?
I'm 18.
You're 18. So 18-year-old who listens to Kiss and seen the Stones, where the vibe I get is that a lot of kids your age like rap music and stuff.
No, actually, like you'd
what
be
are the kids listening to?
No, more of the oldies are like coming back. Like I'm on TikTok or whatever, and like the Eagles are trending right now. Eric Clapton's one song, Layla, like that's all over TikTok. Everybody's like posting about it. Like it's cool to have like a vintage like playlist right now.
Do you know that the coda to Layla is one of my favorite pieces of music of all time?
Oh yeah,
you know that
it's a good song.
He ripped that. You know that he ripped that off.
Yeah, it's the keyboard play. Isn't it the keyboard player from Derek and the Dominoes wrote that or something?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah. So I heard something strange the other day, and I figured I'd bring it up to talk about. During COVID, they had this thing called Shuttered Venue Operations Grant, and it was $200 million that was supposed to go towards the music industry.
Is this in America or this country?
Yeah, in America. And it was for like music venues that couldn't open and things like that. But there was a handful of artists that took advantage of the loophole and said essentially that like they were a company. This is the best of my understanding. And I want to talk about it because I don't have a full like opinion on it yet. But so essentially like Jerry Cantrell like cashed in like $9 million and like
what was the loophole?
The loophole was that they said that they were a touring company that couldn't tour. Now, technically,
it's not really a loophole. They're technically that's true. That's how they make their money.
So this is what I pulled up. I don't know how I feel about this yet. Marshmallow dipped into the.
It's all people who don't need. It's all people who don't need the money.
That's the argument. It's these people that. I mean,
it wasn't designed for them.
Right. So successful musicians and professionals from across the industry received grants from a COVID-era program that was meant to help struggling venues pay their bills during the pandemic. Shuttered Venue Operations Grant was a $200 million grant. So fast forward, what it ended up doing was several other well-known musicians such as Chris Brown's touring, CBE Touring, received a $10 million grant, 5.1 of which was reportedly pocketed by him. Marshmallow, the DJ, took $9.9 million. Alice in Chains, $4.1 million, and $3.4 million of that was reportedly went to the three main members. And then
think about all the just those people. Let's stop for 1 second. Just those people right there. Just think about all of the venues that we have seen close since the pandemic. Right. Tons of them. All that money right there. Those bands, those places are probably still open if they get a 1 million or 500,000 or a couple hundred or 100,000 for Christ's sake.
Oh, and then listen to this. So like Alice in Chains, 4.1 million of the grant, 3.4 of that went to the members. And then in that same year, they started a GoFundMe page for their guitar tech that was diagnosed with cancer. Like,
why? Why didn't they just give them money from the fucking millions they just got?
Exactly. So this is being, and again, I mean, like, they were out of work too, so I'm not like going in on them on it. I don't know how I feel about this yet, I guess is my point. We'll end
I
it
know
with,
how I feel. I know how I feel about this. Is there,
we'll
is
end
there
it
a
with
lawsuit happening?
whoever this guy, Senator Gary Peters says whether it's legal or not is up to the lawyers ultimately in court, but it sure smells.
What was this? Why is that? Is there a lawsuit happening?
I think it's being investigated to
as it should be. That seems fucked up, man. Marshmallows, fucking ginormous. The guy's got plenty of money. Why is he taking $9 million? And what did it say? He's pocketing $5 million of that, or that was Chris Brown took $8 million.
Now, say devil's advocate, they were out of work too, and
but come on, they could have gotten an unemployment check with some stimulus.
I mean, you make a lot of money, you have higher expenses, and you know, I don't know. I'm not defending them.
I listen. There's an argument, but like, it's just the amounts. That's the problem. The $4 million that Alice in Chains took, each guy took $1 million from that, or whatever. Their manager probably took his 10% or whatever percentage, and then the band probably split up the rest. It's like, I don't know, dude. It's a little excessive. What's Chris Brown taking money for? The guy, give me a second as I Google that motherfucker's net worth, okay? I'm just curious.
I don't want to come across as a hater because, like, honestly, if I was in the position, I don't know what I would do. If they applied for money and they were granted money, you know?
All right, yeah. All right, cool. Can I read this to you now?
Yeah.
As of May 2024... Chris Brown's net worth is estimated to be $50 million. However, some sources report his net worth is closer to $100 million. You know what my response to that article is? Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
that's fucked up is what that is.
In relation,
he's taking it away from, that's stealing. He doesn't need that money. He's not a venue that is in trouble. That's what they had the paycheck protection loans for, that were forgivable, was for businesses like bands were supposed to get. Whatever your income was, they would give you money and it would be forgivable because this is the money you're losing. They took money from a fund that wasn't meant for them. They're touring enterprises. Okay, but clubs and venues and stuff like that's where the bands play. Those people went under. So many of those places never reopened. And those 5 people you listed there, that's almost $50 million. Like, think about the amount of money and what that
it's a quarter of the fund. It's
crazy. They took out of people. They hurt their own business out of greed. I hope they go to court. I hope they lose and have to pay all that money back.
Yeah, you're turning my opinion now. I went from I don't really know how I feel about it to I feel your passion.
Well, Bells, what do you think?
I guess they should pay it back.
Oh, you're saying pay it back? That'd be funny. That'd be funny if they were like, "Yo, Chris Brown, go down to the Viper Room, cut a check."
I guess I don't really know.
It's taking advantage of a system. They saw an opportunity to make money, and that's what they did.
The Alice in Chains thing is a bad look. Whenever you have somebody on your crew.
You know what they didn't specify, though? They didn't specify when they posted the GoFundMe. Was the GoFundMe before or after they took the money?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to investigate it further.
Well, I found it really funny that the last thing that I had Googled was how to meet Japanese women in Los Angeles. For those of you who don't know this about me,
you got to Google Chris Brown's net worth, and that pops up.
That's what I saw.
Well, Google, how do you meet Japanese girls in Los Angeles? Let's keep it street legal here with my family.
No, it is because it was an AI response. That's what made it so good. For those who don't know, I like Asian women. It's no secret. My last girlfriend was Korean. We were together for 7 years. It's cool. I'm proud. So I gotta go to my Finder here, and I took some screenshots, so I had them handy. I asked Google, if this would open. That'd
Did
be
you
great.
do it in incognito mode so it doesn't show up in your search history?
No, because I'm not ashamed. So, where to meet Japanese women? Traditional Japanese Matchmaker, which is a company that hosts singles parties.
Yeah, it's got to be an app, dude.
Well, Little
you're serious about
Tokyo.
it.
Little Tokyo is the main historical Japan town in Los Angeles. So I was thinking, like, there's got to be a bar down there to go hang in, right? See what some of these other ones. There was one that was really funny that cracked me up. Oh yeah, marriage agencies. Some marriage agencies specialize in introductions between foreigners and Asian cultures.
It's not as funny as I thought it was going to be.
No, it's just, weird that AI had an answer for me.
AI has an answer for you. AI's like, go to Koreatown then, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Why Koreatown? I said Japanese.
Oh, well.
Little Tokyo.
You said your last girlfriend was Korean.
Yeah, anyway. Maybe should have said
so I read this article that we talked about Ozzy being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, albeit took way too long, and he didn't sing. So his rock and roll induction ceremony, like what Maynard sang Crazy Train, Jelly Roll sang Mama I'm Coming Home, and then Billy Idol sang something. What did Billy Idol
Jelly
sing?
Roll's name really freaks me out, dude. Whenever you say Jelly Roll, I get queasy. Like, I don't know what it is.
Why?
Because it sounds gross. It just sounds gross, like Jelly Roll. Like, what the fuck is a Jelly Roll?
Well, his mom called him that
odd.
because his mom called him that because
right?
he's an overweight guy. His mom called him that.
That's so his mom shamed him, and that's how he got his name from being shamed by his mom. But it makes me think of an ice cream roll that you get at Carvel. Do you ever have one of those ice cream rolls?
I haven't had one of those.
It's like a cake, and it's rolled, and it's got ice cream.
Oh, geez.
I don't know anything about him. I just, his name, I probably love him. His name just freaks me out. Jelly Roll. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
But I have a food phobia.
No, but so Ozzy, I guess he didn't show up. He didn't show up for the sound check, and Ozzy sang his song at sound check, and then he didn't sing it at the ceremony. It's like
Couple of questions there. Why didn't he show up for sound check? And my second question is, if Ozzy is going to sing at sound check, why wouldn't he sing at the
it's a good question.
at the event? Yeah.
Don't know, man.
Did you do any research on that?
No, that's about all that I did.
You're just going to leave me on a cliffhanger here with this one?
I'm bummed that they didn't induct Ozzy into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 10 years ago, and then he could have done a whole set. Would have been rad.
Hold on. Why didn't Ozzy
Google.
sing?
Why didn't Ozzy sing
at Rock and Roll Hall of AI tells me. It's generating. Ozzy Osbourne didn't perform at his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony because of health issues that forced him to retire from live performances. Spinal operations. Tribute to the boss. All right, so Google if Ozzy sang at soundcheck. Soundcheck.
There's something fun about just watching you Google stuff. It's like you're learning to type in real time.
And Roll Hall of Fame.
Why didn't Jelly Roll show up to his soundcheck duties?
If Ozzy sang at soundcheck for Rock and Roll of Fame, why not perform? While Ozzy Osbourne may have sung at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame soundcheck, he likely didn't perform at the main ceremony due to ongoing health issues, most notably Parkinson's disease, which significantly limits his ability to perform live on stage, despite being able to sing during rehearsals or sound checks where the pressure is lower. Gotcha.
There you have it.
Next question. Google, why did Jelly Roll? Is
Not
that one
show
word
up.
or two? Is that
Two.
I think it's two. Yeah.
Why did Jelly Roll? Why was Jelly Roll's mom such a bitch? Why did Jelly Roll miss Hall of Fame sound?
It's hard to sing Ozzy. He did not do a good job.
How Jelly Roll composed music during prison time. He went to prison, that guy?
Yeah.
Well, you guys said
He's
that
one
together.
of the he's an interesting story, man. He's an interesting story. It's one of those like turn your life around type dudes.
Yeah.
He was like drug addict, drug dealer, rapper.
And probably was that way because his mother called him Jelly Roll and shamed him that he needed to do drugs to hide
not
the
the
pain.
most solid. It's not the most solid beginning to things, you know. But
you learn everything in those first formidable years. Can you guys tell I'm about to, do a lot of therapy?
Yeah, it's a good thing. Hey, so Bells, your school had the Black Crows and they asked you to cover it, right?
That's
Yes.
awesome.
How I never talked to you about that.
I want to hear about this.
Yeah, okay. So we have like a media like group production, whatever, and we're allowed to go like take pictures of like any concerts that come to like our kind of main gym on campus.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad mentioned that the Black Crows were coming, and he's like, "Oh, you ought to go see if you can like take pictures." And I had no idea about it. And like I asked like my supervisor or whatever, and she's like, "Oh yeah," because like nobody really like knows who the Black Crows are, like that are my
I
age,
love them
I
so
guess.
much.
Yeah. And so I
They
was like,
probably
"Hey, can
love
I
them if
go?"
they would just listen.
Yeah, no, for real. So I was like, "Oh, can I go take pictures?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." Like, because it wasn't like somebody, big for our generation. So like nobody was really like jumping to do it, I guess. But yeah.
It
So
seems so crazy to me, Harris, doesn't it?
Seems crazy that people don't know who they are.
Well, like, I would be the same way as Bells would be. But like, oh, dude, I want to fucking do that. Where
I
You saw them
Absolutely.
before. That wasn't your first time seeing them, correct?
mm-mm. No, yeah, I
Oh,
saw
wow.
them. They opened
I've
up for
never seen
Aerosmith.
them.
Yeah, saw
Recently.
them twice now.
Yeah, that was recently. That was on that last tour they did, wasn't
Mhm.
it?
No, they sounded great.
Yeah.
They saw the Black Crowes Aerosmith tour like 2-3
Yeah.
shows before it stopped.
Yeah, that was last year.
How did Aerosmith sound like? Because I saw a video from the very first show of that tour. It was in Philly, and I thought Aerosmith sounded great.
No, it was like one of the last shows that we saw. It was crazy. They canceled all the rest.
Unlike Kiss, they left with some dignity. Kiss those money sucking.
Well, explain that. Explain that, because they would have continued if they were able to. It wasn't that they didn't sound good. It was that like Steven Tyler had whatever happened to his throat. Like he was retired because of it.
And he left before he started sounding bad. Where I think Kiss, I watched videos from end of the century tour, and it's cool that they have all the lights and this, that, and the other thing. But then like I also stumbled upon a video just that was like Kiss Animalized from like 1985. Not even wearing makeup, not having the gimmicks. And I would have preferred to watch that band because they had the energy.
They were fire in the 80s. They slowed up. So what? You're watching a living legend on their last tour.
Yeah, cool. Jimmy Carter passed away this week. It's like watching him in his hospice room, right? Like, what the fuck's the point? That was a weird comparison. I just went dark as shit. Sorry.
I mean, I never saw Kiss in like their prime, but the concert I
None
saw
of
was
us
great.
have. Yeah.
I thought it was great.
It was,
Yeah.
but if you go back and watch some
It's
footage
fun.
from them from the 70s on YouTube, the
Yeah.
YouTubes. Go watch some footage from when they were like young. You'd be like, wow, like they like
Yeah.
had balls. Like
No, I
it
bet.
looks like there's a documentary if you guys haven't seen it. It's about Gene Simmons, and it was made during the end of the century tour. It's called The Demon, I think, and it's great. I watched it.
Made during what? The end of
The end of the century
road
tour, the end of the road,
End of the road
That's
tour?
what it is.
Yeah.
It's the end of the end of the road tour. But like Gene gets off stage and he's straight up just like taking the makeup off, like he's like fucking dying. It's just like, I get it, but it's about the money, and I don't care what anybody says.
Wait,
Those
what's
guys-
wrong? What? You explain that better to the rest of the entire.
Oh yeah, nobody.
World.
In
What?
case you're listening,
Gene gets off stage and he goes, what?
Gene's sitting in front of a mirror being interviewed, and he's taking off the makeup after one of these shows on this last farewell tour. And he is just like, he looks like he's just about to die. Now, I'll give him some credit because what he's doing is not easy. He's wearing these like fucking 20-pound shoes and all that other shit.
Heavy.
I get it.
Outfit?
I get it. But it's like, it's not fun, and it's obvious it's not fun. Maybe he gets that adrenaline rush on stage, I'm sure. Don't get me wrong. But the main purpose for them doing it is for money, and it's disgusting to me. With Aerosmith, at least, they could have forced more shows out. They're getting a few million a show for every show they were doing. They probably could have pulled out another 10, 20, 30 shows.
So because they're in the status that they can make a lot of money at a show, they sold out that they're making a lot of money at a show.
You're going to have listen, you're going to have this argument. You're not going to call Kiss a fucking sellout. They're complete sellouts. They've been selling out since they did the 96 reunion tour.
They sold out with the merch in the 70s.
Yeah.
It's fine. They're fun.
All I'm saying is I respect Aerosmith more for leaving before they went to shit, because I think Kiss was not the same Kiss. What they put out there, they made up for it visually. But the reality of it is they're not giving the same show they could have given 10 years ago.
So what do you think of the Gene Simmons band touring now?
Well, he's got a bunch of young guys sitting around him.
Right. Well, I mean, that
makes
younger.
a difference. Yeah, I mean, like,
what do you think he's making per show? 100 grand?
Gene?
Yeah.
Solo Gene?
Solo Gene.
How many? What kind of venues is he playing? You can tell by that.
I saw him doing like some festivals.
Festivals, he's probably getting 100 grand. See, that's the only thing that kind of makes me think that maybe Gene does do it, because he ain't doing that for the money. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, because he does, that's just like show up and play and let me. He does it for girls, and he's always been that way. So, like, at least this way he still gets that kick. You know?
He said in an interview he thought that he would be able to remain retired, and then he said he compared it to going into a scream room. Like, you go into a padded room and like you shout all your emotions out, and you come out like sweaty because like you released all this like pent up anger. He's like, that's what playing a show does for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get it.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Didn't need to water down the goddamn Kiss name for it, though, did he? You know?
You go back and forth. Here's
no.
If you're gonna hate on him. All good. But don't be a back and forth bitch.
I'm not. I said I used to be a huge Kiss. Used to be. What part of that? What makes that a back and forth bitch? Hey, you're calling me a bitch. You duped me earlier with Dolly Parton, for Christ's sake. Who's the bitch now? Listen,
I'm a bitch because I saw Dolly Parton first.
No, because
I don't remember it.
Kiss first. You know, whatever. It's fine. I'm not going to go back to that.
What
Eldest brother, like, what did I get myself in? She's turning into. It's all dark behind her all of a sudden.
That's because we waited so long for you. It's now nighttime, Johnny.
I know, it's my fault. Hey, Bells,
how many hours? Sitting here.
How many hours do you think I've made Ryan wait through the years of the podcast on me before we?
Probably too many.
You're allowed to say days. You're allowed to say days.
No, she's learning the art of being on TV. You stay as neutral as possible.
Yeah. No, my question though is it okay? So you're a youngin. What is it about Kiss that you liked?
Well, you and Dad, obviously.
My influence.
You got me. Yeah, both you guys. Well, like I first started listening to like all this older stuff because back in like 2011, 2012, we didn't have we had Apple Music, but it wasn't like you can't like stream on all those. So my dad used to put like CDs and stuff onto my iPad somehow, like download them. And they were, of course, all his like rock CDs. So that's just like what I grew up listening to.
How many of your friends listen to rock?
Not many. Not many. I try to influence where I can.
What do they listen to?
Just like pop stuff. Pop's really, or like alternative. There's like a lot of alternative going on right now. Yeah,
what's an popular alternative band right now?
Noah Kahan's really popular. I don't even know what he is, like pop alternative. I don't really know what he is. I don't even know what else. Oh, Hozier. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
He's super popular with everybody right now.
But he's been popular though. Back when we were doing the Bad Romantics, he had a song that was huge.
Take me to church guy.
Yeah. Okay, here's the take me to church thing. Nobody ever anticipated that song to ever be a single. That song becoming a single was a complete fluke. The crazy thing is that's how most singles end up becoming singles. Is flukish. Did
you ever see that? I think it was the Grammys where Hozier did that song, and then Annie Lennox came out and sang.
Did Annie Lennox die?
No, I hope not. I don't think so. It was like hold my beer moment. She came out and just made him look like it was his first show ever. I'd pull it up if I could play music on this podcast, but I can't do that. So look it up on YouTube. Hozier and Annie Lennox.
She's 70. Yeah. Annie Lennox scared me in that fucking video when they had Sweet Dreams. Her with her her short hair with bright orange. Like I was scared of her. I was like, oh God, that lady's scary. But I was a little boy, when I saw that. So it makes sense.
Google, how do I meet girls like Annie Lennox in Los Angeles?
That's amazing. I'm going to have to try that. I have to try it on my phone. I get a better AI response on my phone for the Japanese girls than,
I got
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So you're now into your, I guess would be fourth month of your freshman year of college?
Yeah, we just finished up my first semester.
And so what to you, if there was a big difference between high school and college, what's the biggest difference to you?
The freedom. Definitely the freedom. I feel like whenever you're in high school, like you're trapped.
Dave,
you're
cover
trapped
your
in a
ears.
building. You're just like, I don't know, you're trapped in a building and like you can't do anything, you can't go anywhere, you have to like listen to adults. I mean, college, you could do whatever you want. You don't have to abide by all the dumb, I don't know. I hated high school. Love college.
She had a teacher in high school, and correct me if I'm not saying this correctly, but she asked a question and the teacher's response was YouTube it.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Whoa.
One of my favorites.
And I asked my mom is a retired.
Now, let's
teacher.
put a little context behind
that. No, this was math class too. Like this was a math teacher.
That's like telling the student to use a calculator. Was that just because she didn't want to answer the question, or is it because you didn't listen to when she was explaining it? Like, was there any backstory to this?
No, she's lazy. She doesn't give a crap.
That's crazy. That's pretty fucking
She's a
nutty,
fan of the
man.
podcast, and she's now going to know how we feel about it.
Is she a fan?
She's probably a fan of the podcast, right? She's got to be a fan of the podcast.
My fifth grade teacher told me, she asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I said I wanted to be a rock star, and she told me it was a pipe dream and to find something else. I thought that was pretty fucked up. Like why would you tell a child?
Adults are not aware what they put into kids' heads sometimes.
Yeah.
All
she did was put a chip into my shoulder.
But how many years later here we are, and you're talking about it, and you still remember it. Yeah. It was something that left an impact on you, and that was an adult that should have known better, saying it to a child that just
a teacher nonetheless.
Yeah,
completely.
Like I think any adult should respond to anybody like a child. Anytime a child says they want to do something when they grow up, they should be like, "That's awesome. You can achieve anything you want. If you can achieve anything you want if you try." So like, why that wouldn't be the stock answer for any adult to a child who says they want to do something? It's beyond me. Unless they're angry adults.
That's the thing.
Yeah, she's a very angry adult. So wasn't surprised by her answer at the least whenever I asked. So
there's certain parts of our country that are just, for whatever reason, it could be a blue collar factor. It could be, that makes this happen. But there's an angry contingency, like not angry. I don't want to say angry, but it's like almost like bitter. You know what I mean? Like life was different for people at a certain point. I think people went on different paths. It depends where you grow up, I think, or what kind of environment you grow up in, that like sometimes you like live a path that maybe you weren't really wanted to do, but it just seemed like the right thing to do. And then later down that path, there you are and you hate that path and you're just pissed off. It's kind of the reason I left Philadelphia, because like, hey, Johnny, what do you want to do with your life? I want to be a drummer. Oh, good fucking luck with that. It's like, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they were right. I don't know, but here we are on the podcast. But
yeah, but then you go back after sticking to it. People were like, they changed their tone a little bit when they talk to you.
Yeah, I noticed that. I went back to a high school reunion. Somebody was like, "We live vicariously through you," and I was like, "That's weird."
Cool. Pay my rent then.
Yeah. Help me out. On that note. Before you know it, Bells, you're going to have a 5-year reunion, 10-year reunion. It's going to go by. Once you get out of high school, the shit starts really flying.
Yeah, I'm not going to go to any of those reunions.
I was going to say the same thing. She was voted in her senior year. What was it? Most likely to leave town.
Yeah, most likely to leave town the quickest.
That's amazing. Yeah. Do you think they're right, or do you think?
Oh yeah,
she left town.
Once I get out of college and get a job.
You're in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Yeah. My school's in Pittsburgh, so.
Do you plan on going
get a job
anywhere? What if they're like
anywhere?
What if they're like Fargo? What is that? North Dakota?
I will go to North Dakota like that. Like,
So you'll appreciate this story. This is my last story, and then we'll end this shit. But listen, so when I was in my freshman year of college, I went to school in Reno, Nevada, and we didn't have a radio station. So I went up to the local radio station, which was the second largest station in Reno. It was the classic rock station. I walked in, asked the program director if I could intern for him. And he's like, yeah, totally. So for the first semester, I interned for him. At the end of the first semester, he had me make a demo tape. I went home for Christmas break. I came back the next semester, and he offered me a job. He offered me Friday and Saturday nights, midnight to 8 a.m. Now, I didn't take the job because I was 18 years old, and I was like, you want me to work from midnight to 8 a.m. on Friday and Saturday nights as a freshman in college? It seemed ridiculous. But in hindsight, that's how you get you really get your career. Had I done that right now, I'd probably be like the next Howard Stern and probably banned from everything on the planet. But, you know.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here. But so I didn't take that opportunity, and that's the one crossroads. I don't have any regrets. I don't even regret that decision because I believe everything happens for a reason. But I look back at that particular crossroads. I remember my thought process being that I wanted to be a musician, so I didn't want to be a DJ because I thought I'd be too bitter. I thought I'd be like, this is Alice in Chains. They fucking suck. Play, you know? Like, I thought I'd end up being that kind of DJ.
You probably would have. You absolutely
would have. I definitely would have. But I look back it's a great gig for somebody who loves music but doesn't know how to play it, to be a DJ or something like that. But I do look at that crossroads and think to myself, because I am such an outspoken, opinionated...
Pain in the ass?
Pain in the ass.
Sorry. Yeah,
pain in the ass, all of the above. Neurotic. I mean, the list could go on. Interrupting. Anyway.
Interrupting,
Interrupting, right? I do look back at that crossroads and think, you know, I think I would have excelled at that. But, you know, you saying you would take a job anywhere, it made me think like...
I don't know, man. Let me give you my...
I didn't have that willingness that you have because I should have taken that job if that's what I wanted to have done. I just wanted to be on the college radio station. I wasn't looking to have a career in radio.
Yeah.
I did an internship when I was in college at WNCI. I went to Ohio State. WNCI in Columbus is like their big pop station. And I did an internship there. And it completely solidified in my brain that I don't want to be on that side of music. I don't know. The podcast is fun, so maybe I'm full of shit. But at that time, like bands would come in, and I had that total attitude.
I would have been so jealous. I'm a man enough to admit that, like, if I
wasn't
in a situation
jealous.
where I was
confused. I was confused by the employees of the station that were like starstruck by these bands that I didn't think were that good at the time. Maybe that was hater of me. I'm not certain. You remember Stroke 9 or whatever, that little black backpack or whatever, that song, like that band came in and everybody was like freaking out about it. I was like, I don't get it. I've
never even heard of them.
Not to pat my own back. I was like, I'm better than that. Like,
well, but and your reaction's exactly why I didn't do the job.
Yeah,
because
I think you would have come to that conclusion if
I already knew that. I mean I already knew. That's why I didn't take it. But I look back and as an older, wiser guy, there is a way that I could have made both work. As a matter of fact, I probably could have used it to my advantage because I probably could have gotten a job where whatever band I was playing in, I probably could have pushed it onto the fucking radio.
I think the takeaway here is Bells. Don't listen to us.
Okay.
Do your own thing.
Bells, you're on the right path. You'll take a job anywhere. That's fucking beautiful. That's the right attitude.
Yeah.
What's the? I do want to know, what is the dream job?
I want to be a what's it? I don't know, like a primetime like news anchor on any like major city. I'd love to go to DC. That would be a dream of mine. So if I could eventually get to DC.
So you want to do political like shit?
Just like news. I love like DC and stuff. Like I love Alexandria, like that area. Obviously, you don't live in the city, like live on the outskirts, but yeah.
I think it's great because you know how many people who go to college have no idea what they want to do with their life. They're just going to college because that's what their parents tell them they need them to do.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you know what you want to do, you got a head start on everybody. And the fact that you know what it takes, that you'll take a job anywhere. The fact that you're not even there 4 months and you're already like doing the news at your school. I'm gonna clap. I think that's awesome.
Killing the game. Killing the game. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Dave,
you're welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Welcome back anytime.
Dave is going to be watching, and I just want to say you did a good job. Just say.
Yeah. My man. I thought you were going to say,
Ryan,
Dave, I'm sorry.
Ryan,
I'm sorry I sweared like a sailor around your daughter.
Well, hey, listen. I thought about this, but I have a couple of things I want to retort to that. I've been thinking about this. She's in college, so like I feel like I should smoke my weed vape for no other reason than she sees this shit now. Just saying, she's in college. And the other thing is, you brought her on the podcast at your own risk. Just saying.
I'm aware.
Throwing that out
Trust
there.
me.
She's in college. She's 18. She can see R-rated movies legally.
She's not influenced. She's not easily influenced by people. I haven't worried about that kid for years.
Oh, dude, I'm not.
I'm pretty headstrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And on that
thanks,
note,
Bells. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's amazing. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in for episode 112. 112, that's 112. If you add those up, that's 4.
Add it up, that's 4.
Hit like, subscribe, and report. That little
Johnny's
bell.
Rain
Ding,
Man.
ding, ding. Yeah. We'll see you next time, everybody. Have a good
Bells,
week.
tell all your friends to
out.
subscribe. And
I will.
And report us to their friends.
Subscribe, repost.
Repost, report.
Yeah.
All right.
Later.
Bye, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye.